Welcome back to Week 4 of Fantasy Football Fridays. I'm Brody Heidemann, joined alongside Peyton Parker, and today we're going to be going through all of our starts and sits, our predictions for Week 8 of the NFL. And to start off with, Rams taking on the Cowboys. The Rams, they've been okay to start the season, obviously. They weren't picked to be anything good, but they have done pretty good. And last week, Puka Nacua had a big game. And, I think this Ram wide receiver core, they're just going to trade off. I'm going to start Cooper Kupp over Puka Nacua. I think Cooper Kupp's going to get the bigger week this week. Obviously, the Cowboys secondary isn't anything too special. I think they're going to actually target Puka Nacua a lot more, but I think Cooper Kupp's going to get the bigger plays. I'm going to sit Puka Nacua. I don't think he has that big of a game. My score prediction, though, I think the Cowboys are going to get a close win. I think the Rams are going to put up a fight. Give me Cowboys 24, Rams 21.
Yeah, Brody, I actually have the exact opposite of what you just said. I have Puka Nacua starting and Cooper Kupp sitting because I think it's going to go the exact opposite way. I think Cooper Kupp is not going to see the ball much. I think Puka Nacua is going to get targets and he's going to get the ball. So, and I got the Cowboys winning 33 to the Rams 20.
I can agree with that. Next up, Minnesota Vikings taking on the Green Bay Packers, and Justin Jefferson being out. And last week, the Vikings Monday Night Football. I don't know what else to describe Jordan Addison as, but only one player has more touchdowns than him this year, and it's Tyreek Hill. So my start of the week, yet again, is Jordan Addison. I think he's going to go off against this Green Bay Packers secondary. Jair Alexander, he's questionable. Even if he does play, I still think Addison's going to have a big game. I would sit Jordan Love. He's coming off a few shaky starts. I think the Vikings defense is going to get to him. I think Danielle Hunter, he's going to get through the line and get a lot of sacks on him. My score prediction, I think the Vikings are going to get a big win here. Give me Vikings 31, Packers 14.
Yeah, my take is a bit of a hot one here, but I have Alexander Mattison starting. I think he'll produce against this Packers defense. They just lost to the Broncos, so they're obviously not the best.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting A.J. Dillon. The split between the two running backs, it just makes the production for both of them much less than what it would be. And I got the Vikings winning 28 to the Packers 15.
Yeah, I think that's a good score. Next up, Atlanta Falcons taking on the Tennessee Titans, and both these teams, they've just been all around so far this season. Last week, the big storyline, I think everyone that has Bijan Robinson was just mind blown. Nothing in the week prior to if he was injured, sick, and then all of a sudden he just puts up 0.3 points during the game, and everyone's confused. However, though, I think he's going to have a bounce-back game. Apparently, it might have just been some illness. So I'm going to start Bijan Robinson if you were questioning it. If you weren't questioning it, I would start someone like Kyle Pitts. I think Kyle Pitts is going to have a big week. He's been kind of all around, but I think the Tennessee Titans secondary is not good. I think Kyle Pitts has a good game. My sit, though, I hate sitting him because he's so good, but I wouldn't going to sit Derrick Henry. I don't like Derrick Henry in this game. For some reason, I don't think he's going to do very good. My score prediction, though, give me the Falcons 28-20 over the Titans.
Yeah, I once again have the exact opposite as you, Brody. I have Derrick Henry starting. Falcons defense isn't that good. And I have Bijan Robinson sitting after last week. He was on the questionable. I don't think he is anymore. And I got the Falcons winning 22 to the Titans 17.
That's a good score prediction. Next up, New Orleans Saints taking on the Indianapolis Colts. Both these teams, they're both 3-4. They're both coming off some decent games. Colts, obviously, they got the win or got the loss to the Browns. It's controversial, but the Colts got Jonathan Taylor back, and now Zach Moss, who was, I believe, top 5 in the league in rushing, is all of a sudden sitting on the bench as a running back too. My start of the week, give me Jonathan Taylor. I think he has a good game. I think this Saints defensive line isn't the best. I would start Jonathan Taylor in my sit, Zach Moss. He's not going to get as many touches. I don't know. Maybe they put him in as a third down running back. Could get some touches at the goal line, but still, I don't think he's a viable option on the offense. If you want somebody else to start besides Jonathan Taylor, I would also start Michael Pittman, but either player works. My score prediction, though, I think Gardner Minshew, they showed a lot of promise last week. Give me the Colts 30-28 over the Saints.
Yeah, I'm starting a different running back. I'm starting Alvin Kamara. He has played really good in the 4 weeks that he's been playing. And I'm sitting Zach Moss. Once he's a RB2. Yeah. He's not going to see the field as much as he used to. And I got the Colts winning 24 to the Saints 13.
Nice. Next up, AFC East matchup between 2-5 Patriots and the 5-2 Dolphins. Crazy if you would have said that like 5 years ago. I think people would have been laughing at you. But my start is, I'm just going to go quick to it. My start of the week, I would start if you have Jalen Waddle or any other player on the Dolphins offense. I would start them. It doesn't sound like Tyreek Hill's going to play. There's a chance Raheem Mostert doesn't either. That's why I'm not going to play him as my start of the week. I would start Jalen Waddle. Obviously, he's going to be a viable option. I think this is going to be a statement game from Jalen Waddle. It'll be a huge game for him. And my sit of the week, Ramondre Stevenson. He hasn't been very good so far. He's only got 268 yards and 2 touchdowns on the season. Not very good. My score prediction, though, give me Dolphins 40, Patriots 7.
Yeah, Brody loves starting this guy, so I'm going to do it this week. Raheem Mostert, I think he's going to play. I think he's going to put up big numbers. And I'm sitting Ramondre Stevenson, like Brody said. He's just, it's not even him, it's his team. The run game is just not good. And I got the Dolphins 34, Patriots 16.
Yeah, Peyton, I like that one, but battle of the New York teams, Jets taking on the Giants, and I just don't know where to start with either of these teams. They're both fine, but they're both just, I don't know how to feel about it. Garrett Wilson, going into the season, he was like a top 20 receiver, and now, he's only got 370 yards on the season with 2 touchdowns. He hasn't been very good. My start of the week, if he does play, I would start Darren Waller. He's questionable. I don't believe he practiced the other day, but if he does play, start Darren Waller. I think he's getting involved in this Giant offense, and he's been playing good. I think Daniel Jones is also going to play. But if he doesn't, honestly, if Daniel Jones doesn't play and Tyrod Taylor is playing over him, I would start Darren Waller even more. My sit of the week, though, I hate to do it. I'm going to sit Garrett Wilson. I hate that this guy who's coming off the Rookie of the Year he's just not getting involved. And I would hate to play him, but I'm going to sit Garrett Wilson. My score prediction, though, I do think the Jets win. I don't think the Giants are they're not very promising, I'd say. Give me the Jets, though. It's going to be a low-scoring game. Give me Jets 17. We'll go 13 Giants.
Yeah, I have a bit of an obvious one here for my start, but start Saquon Barkley. He's basically the Giants' whole offense. Their pass game has done nothing. And I'm sitting, I don't even know why you'd have this guy on your team, to be honest. Dalvin Cook, he has not played at all with Breece Hall being back. And I got the Jets 23 to the Giants 13.
Next up, 2 surprising teams who have been playing pretty decent, I'd say. Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Both of these teams, they are very, very surprising. Obviously, the Steelers, Kenny Pickett, their offense is just not good. They won last week, had a few good plays, but still, they are not good. Jacksonville, though, they're surprising. They've been playing pretty decent. I think they're a pretty good team. Travis Etienne, he's been playing really good along with Christian Kirk. Trevor Lawrence, he's been all over the place. He's been questionable. He played last week. I think he's going to play again this week. My start, I do think that he's a good wide receiver, and I think he actually might be a good start this week. I would start George Pickens. I think George Pickens is going to have a good week. I think George Pickens and Deontay Johnson, now they're back in the same offense. I think they're going to both contribute off each other playing. My sit of the week, though, I hate sitting him, but I'm going to sit Calvin Ridley. He's had no production. He had 1 catch last week. They just don't get him involved. And if I'm a fantasy owner, I'm not starting Calvin Ridley anymore. I'm giving up. My score prediction, though, I think the Jaguars are going to win big. I have a feeling the Jaguars are going to win big. Give me Jacksonville 33, Steelers 12.
Yeah, kind of like you touched on. I don't think Kenny Pickett's that good of a quarterback. And for that reason, I'm sitting George Pickens. I don't think he'll have a big game. But a bit of an underrated guy for my start, Evan Ingram. He's been okay. He's 9-10 points a game. I think he'll see the ball a little more this week. I don't know why. I just feel like he will. And I got the Jaguars 31 to the Steelers 18.
Following that, Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Washington Commanders. And I'm going to throw it out there. I'm going to be a little risky here. I'm going to start Terry McLaurin / Sam Howell. Obviously, you have Terry McLaurin. Start him. I'm going to sit Jalen Hurts. No, it sounds crazy, but Jalen Hurts, he's been getting a lot of points. He's been doing good. But one problem with him, he leads the league in interceptions. I think for some reason this Washington Commanders defense is going to do good. I'm getting an upset alert. I'm going to say Washington Commanders win. I think it's going to be a really close game. Give me Commanders 24. We'll say 21 Eagles.
Yeah, my start's also Terry McLaurin. Obviously, if you have him, you're going to start him. He's the best wide receiver on the Commanders. And my sit is DeAndre Swift. I don't see him producing that much with how good that the Commanders' defensive line is. I have the Eagles winning 42 to the Commanders 17.
Next up, battle of the rookie quarterbacks. The 1 and the 2, C.J. Stroud versus Bryce Young. Texans taking on the Panthers. And who would have thought the Texans would be in the spot they're in right now? They're 3-3. They're at 500. But the Panthers 0-6, playing terrible. You know, I'm a fantasy manager, and I was able to pick up C.J. Stroud off the waivers. I am very happy. He's got 9 touchdowns to 1 interception on the season, 1,600 yards passing. My start of the week, I think it should be obvious if you have him. Start C.J. Stroud. He's a top 10 fantasy quarterback right now. He's playing off his mind. I think this is an easy start. And my sit of the week, I do not like his running back, though. Dameon Pierce, he hasn't been anything special. I would honestly, if you can pick up Devin Singletary in the waivers, I would possibly pick him up. There's a chance that Dameon Pierce doesn't get the start in a few weeks. I would pick up Devin Singletary if possible. My score prediction, though, I just don't like the Panthers. I don't think they do good. I think Bryce Young just gets abused this game. Give me the Texans 38, Panthers 21.
Yeah, my start, C.J. Stroud, like you said, great fantasy quarterback. He has 9 touchdowns, right?
Yeah, something like that.
And my sit, Adam Thielen, who is getting the ball passed to him by another rookie quarterback, Bryce Young, who has struggled this season, at least so far. And I got the Texans winning 20 to the Panthers 6.
Ooh, I like that one. Next up, Cleveland Browns taking on the Seattle Seahawks. Both teams, surprisingly, 4-2 going into this game. And, you know, I would say these teams are both pretty good, but I just don't know. 4-2 for both these teams is pretty surprising. The Browns, they do not have a good offense. Deshaun Watson, he's not playing this weekend. P.J. Walker is going to get the start. The Seahawks, they're all over the board on offense. Geno Smith, he's been okay so far this season. He's got 7 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. Not too bad. The one bright spot who did have a down week last week would be Kenneth Walker. I think he has a bounce back week. That's why I'm going to start him if I have him. My sit, though, I would sit Amari Cooper. I don't think he's going to be very viable with P.J. Walker at quarterback. But also, another start if you have their defense. This Cleveland Brown defense, you have to start them as a defensive slot. I mean, they are just playing out of their minds. So, my score prediction, though, I think the defense is going to be a defensive battle. Honestly, I think it's going to be a big defensive battle. Give me Cleveland Browns 14-13 over the Seattle Seahawks.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. Start the Browns defense, but also I would start Tyler Lockett.
I like
too.
that one.
DK Metcalf is going to be locked down. He's their wide receiver 1. Browns defense, like we have said, very good. But Tyler Lockett will get targets and he will get the ball. And I just have average scoring game here. Browns 21, Seahawks 18.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Following that, AFC West matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos. And I know Peyton's probably shaking his head at this. This is just not going to be a good game. I mean, this is just atrocious. My start of the week, I think Isaiah Pacheco is going to go off. For some reason, he's been okay so far this season. He's got 419 yards and 3 touchdowns. I think he's going to go off. And on the opposing side, I would sit Jamal Williams. Hasn't had a touchdown yet this season. He's been nothing special. I'd also sit Jerry Jeudy. Don't know how he's still on the team, honestly. I would sit him, though. I don't think it's going to be that bad of a blowout for some reason. The Chiefs have really been winning consistently by little margins. So my score prediction, I think the Chiefs win 28-17 over the Broncos. It was a closer game earlier on this season. I think it's a closer game again.
Yeah, I'm also sitting Williams. The Broncos offense is just blech.
It's not very good.
It's like watching paint dry. It's not fun to watch at all. But with that being said, I'm starting Cortland Sutton. He's had a touchdown in their past 3 games. I think he could score another touchdown. But I got the Chiefs winning 24 to the Broncos 9.
Next up, Baltimore Ravens taking on the Arizona Cardinals. Battle of the Birds. And my start, it's a little odd one. He's okay, but I'm going to start Amari DiMercado. He's been viable in the backfield without James Conner back there, and I would say start him. Also, if you are playing fantasy and need a quarterback, Kyler Murray, he started practicing this week. Go and pick him up. He should be on the waivers. I would pick him up right now. Easy pickup for you. Next up, though, on my sit, I hate sitting him because every time I sit him, I feel like he does good. Zay Flowers, I don't know why I don't like him. I think I might just have a grudge against him, but Zay Flowers, I don't think he has a good week. I would sit Zay Flowers if you have him on your team. My score prediction, though, I do think the Ravens win big. Give me Ravens 32, Cardinals 18.
Yeah, well, I'm going to start Zay Flowers. This Cardinals defense is nothing special. Even though he's inconsistent, I still think he's capable of scoring a lot of points in this game. And I'm sitting Zach Ertz. I mean, there's a bunch of different tight ends that you could pick up on the waiver wire that are better than Zach Ertz. So I don't know why he's on your roster if you have him, if you're a manager. And I got the Ravens winning 28 to the Cardinals 17.
Next up, Cincinnati Bengals taking on the San Francisco 49ers. And before the season, I would have pinpointed this matchup as a probably top 10 matchup. But now, I mean, both these teams, they're obviously still good, but still not as good as you'd hope. Brock Purdy, he's coming off two not very good games. He's questionable. Sam Darnold might get the nod at quarterback with the injury. That's why I'm going to sit Brandon Ayuk. I don't think Brandon Ayuk does very good if Sam Darnold plays. I think they're going to try and get the ball to McCaffrey a lot. If he does play as well, McCaffrey was questionable last week. And for the Bengals, I'm going to start T. Higgins. I think Jamar Chase is going to play good. He always does. But I would start T. Higgins. I think T. Higgins is going to take over and have some good plays on offense. I think they also might look to trade him at some point this trade deadline. He's a name to watch. My score prediction, though, I think the Bengals get the win. Close game, though. Give me Bengals 28, 49ers 25.
With the 49ers defense being so good, I think Joe Burrow struggles. He's had his up and downs this season. I think this is going to be one of his downs. And I'm going to start Brandon Ayuk. I think with his quarterback maybe being out, it still could be a statement game for him. He could still put up a lot of points. And I got the 49ers winning 31 to the Bengals 27.
Next up, 2-win teams between the Chicago Bears and the Chargers. Chargers been very letdown-esque so far this season. The Bears going to start Tyson Bagent at quarterback over Justin Fields, who's out with an injury. My start of the week, though, if he does play, is questionable. Joshua Palmer, he hit for me last week, had a double-digit game. I think he's going to do good again. Keenan Allen has also been a good wide receiver for the Chargers. If you have him, he's a viable option. My sit, though, I'm going to sit DJ Moore. I don't think he's going to do very good. I also sit any Bears running back. They have not done good. And Tyson Bagent, he's playing quarterback. Don't start him if you have him, please. My score prediction, though, I think the Chargers are going to get a win they need. Give me Chargers 23, Bears 18.
Yeah, like you said, Brody, I'm going to have to sit any Bears running back. There's just been no production out of that backfield at all. And I'm going to start Keenan Allen. I think he has a big game against this Bears secondary. He's been a pretty consistent scorer this season, too, scoring about 15 points. And I got the Chargers winning 24 to the Bears 13.
I like that. I'm just going to go straight to the point. Raiders-Lions, start Jahmyr Gibbs. Please, if you have Jahmyr Gibbs, please start Jahmyr Gibbs. This is going to be a big game for him. I think he's going to break out, and he had a 27-point game last week. Put him in. I think he puts up 30. I'm simply going to say it like that. Sit Jimmy Garoppolo or Devontae Adams. Don't like either of them. I don't think they're going to do very good. My score prediction, though, give me Lions 33 to Raiders 17.
Yeah, I'm sitting another offensive player on the Raiders. I'm sitting Josh Jacobs. He's been super-duper underwhelming this year. And my start, Amon-Ra St. Brown, he's been consistent. Always will be, I think. And I got the Lions 31 to the Raiders 14.
Thanks for tuning in today, folks. This has been Brody Heidemann alongside Peyton Parker, signing off for the Wingspan, the student news site of Credit East Media.